Gunners supporters, blows his whistle. George Moncur steps up and scores! Bottom corner of the net, the goalkeeper was very close, and it's George. He lets in a low cross, and that's been turned in, and Leyton Orient are back on level terms. He'll come to James, he shoots! Oh, and a goal from Tom James! That was a volley, and that was right. It's a low cross, it's an inviting cross, and it's been turned in by Theo Archibald, and he celebrates in front of the travelling faithful.
Good evening and welcome to Orient Live. Richie Welland is fresh from winning the League Two Manager of the Season, the Manager of the Month competition, and we're looking to pick up another win this evening as we face Rochdale. And I've got two winners in the studio with me as well, two promotion winners in fact, in the shape of Jabbo Abire and Joe Widdowson, and they're bringing all the action for you live this evening. And let's get started afresh now. Jabbo, I see you giggling away there. We've had an enforced break, but we're back and hopefully going to continue that unbeaten start to the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you almost want the break in a sense because you want to just keep that momentum going, but it gives more time on the training ground, more chance for players that are coming back from injuries get their fitness back and everything. So exciting times and a great game to look forward to today.
Certainly is, and let's get it out of the way early doors. Some people call it a curse, but Richie Welland, congratulations, he has just won the League Two Manager of the Month. I got it right that time. A bit of extra pressure on him and the team now following that, maybe?
I think he'll be fine, you know. Hopefully he's the one to break the curse. And, you know, the boys are confident of late, they've been in great form. So I can't see that being an issue tonight. I think they'll carry on and hopefully another good result. Well,
the O's are looking to continue their strong start and very few changes to the starting 11. Just the one, in fact, as Rob Hunt drops out. But let's take a look at the full starting lineup for the O's this evening, and the ever constant in goal, of course, is number 22, Lawrence Vigouroux. In at right back, number 2, Tom James. At centre back, number 5, Dan Happy. The League Two Player of the Month nominee, number 7, Paul Smith. Ruel Sotiriou joins him in the attacking lineup, and the midfield three of number 14, George Moncur, 15, Idris El Mazouni, and the captain, 18, Darren Pratley. Joining Dan Happy at the back, number 19, Omar Beckles. Leading the line, number 23, Charlie Kelman. And taking Rob Hunt's place in at left back, number 24, Jaden Sweeney. And on the bench for the O's, Sam Sargent, Shadrach Oji, Craig Clay, Theo Archibald, Jordan Brown, Aaron Drynan, and Stephen Duke McKenna. So just the one change from 2 Saturdays ago when the O's won 2-0 against Tranmere Rovers, and hopefully the O's can pick up another 3 points today. And I think what better place to start really than that left back position, and we'll come to you, Joe, being it's your spot. Rob Hunt is out injured, a bit of a blow for the O's, but Jaden Sweeney seems to have been waiting in the wings for a good few seasons now. He's got a good opportunity to take his moment. He
has, yeah, definitely. You know, it's a huge opportunity for Sweens. He's a really good lad, trains well, good professional, works hard, and yeah, so it's a great chance for him tonight. You know, to try and you know, put in a good performance and then hopefully try and keep the spot. I think Rob Hunt's done really well. You know, he signed right before the start of the season, came in with no pre-season behind him, and quickly slotted in, especially being a right-footed fullback. He's, you know, been really at home playing on the left-hand side. But like you said, it's a good opportunity for Sweens, and I hope he takes it tonight.
What do you remember from your time on the training pitch with Sweens battling for that left-back spot?
Yeah, Sweens, like he was really dedicated, worked really hard, like always like staying late at the training ground, always asking me for advice as well. He was like a sponge, wanted to learn, wanted to improve a lot. And he's been floated around the first team now for a good 2-3 years. So, you know, I think it's time that, you know, if he gets a chance tonight and at different points this season, he needs to really try and sort of take it and cement his place in the team.
It must be tough for him, obviously, seeing the team go unbeaten to start the season. Everyone's fighting for those starting spots. He played at centre back in the Papa John's Trophy, and that night didn't go massively to plan for the O's. But this is a different challenge for him now. This is obviously going to maybe make him step up that extra notch, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's got another chance, and that's, you know, when the team's winning, and obviously when back fours are going well, there's not often movement there. But I mean, this is a great opportunity, and it shows the manager's faith in him still, regardless of what happened in the Papa John's. Hunt's injured, cool. Sometimes when the manager ain't got faith in you, they might draft in a senior player and play him in that position. But the fact they put him straight back in there, saying, look, go on, we trust you. I'll find you dependable. Now it's his time, his opportunity to say, right, I'm going to try and lay a claim for that position, and he's gotten a chance to hopefully go and take it.
There seems to be a few knocks around the squad as well. Jabbo, Adam Thompson's dropped out the squad with what seems to be a knock. Theo's thankfully back on the bench, but it's another game he's not starting. Is this maybe a test of how the bench and that the whole squad can really compete and contribute?
Yeah, I mean, you want. I mean, the squad for those is fantastic, to be fair. And you know, the starting 11 are laying claim to the shirts. They're playing well week in, week out. And the bench, people who play on the bench want to get out on the pitch, so it's keeping everyone on their toes. And the fact that we have some knocks, but the bench still looks quite strong. The team, the starting 11 is really strong. It's just a good solid squad with, and hopefully a lot of competitiveness in there.
And how many positives can Sweeney take out of the fact that he's playing in a consistent backline alongside Beckles, Happy and Tom James, and they're performing well as well? Will that make it quite easy for him to slot in there?
Yeah, I think that's a big factor. You know, he's coming into a settled back four, a team that's not conceded many goals at all. You know, the boys will be confident, and he'll have the likes of Omar Beckles, Dan Happy alongside him, who will be talking, be communicating with him, and just helping him to slot in like nice and easy. Like you said, coming into a team where it's been a mean defence so far this season, that's only going to help him tonight.
Going forward as well, I mean, we've seen him in pre-season play going in an attacking position in the wing. We've seen him play at centre back. He's a bit versatile. Do you maybe expect him to contribute in that respect as well? We know what TJ can do on the other side from right back. Is that something he's capable of?
Well, he's got great energy. He can get up and down. He's a really fit boy. So I don't know if he's quite got sort of TJ's delivery in terms of like quality of delivery, but in terms of like energy, getting up and supporting attacks, overlapping, that's something that he's more than capable of. Yeah, so I expect to see a bit of that from him tonight.
It'll be interesting to see. But if we move into your position now, Jabbo, that striking position, Richie said in his pre-match interview that Aaron Drynan will feature tonight. He has been back on the bench for the last few games. Charlie Kelman's keep him out of that spot, so I'm not sure if it's good to see him being kept out the squad, or what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, you want a striker whoever's starting, you want them to be scoring and causing havoc and linking play, and I think Kelman's done that really well so far. You've got Drynan now. Obviously, he's come back from injury. He's chomping at the bit, and you're going to have two players just biting and raring to go, and it's a great thing. It's great for the team, and it gives the manager a dilemma. But for now, I think Kelman's earned the shirt, and it's his job to keep it, because I know as a striker myself, when you're on the bench and you're itching to get back in the starting lineup, and you've got a striker there scoring, you're just waiting for your opportunity to show the manager, you know what, I'm ready, I can play, and put the pressure on him. And so they're going to be both tugging at it, but it's only going to help the team, and it's only going to help both of them improve and keep scoring goals.
But you'd imagine from how Kelman has been playing, he has slotted into the starting lineup really well since joining the O's. He's been scoring goals and providing assists as well. It's going to be a real tough job for Drynan to get in, but we know how good he can be from last season. What does Drynan have to do to show that he deserves that starting spot?
I mean, the manager knows all about him, and like I said, he's been a fantastic player so far, and especially last season. So I don't think he has to prove much. He just has to, when he gets the opportunity, just show he's fit, he's raring to go, and I'm sure he's shown that in training already. And there'll be plenty of games that he'll get his chance, and you want both of them competing, you want both of them pushing each other, and then the manager can have a selection problem in the sense of you've played a few games, I can leave him out and trust that Drynan or whoever Kelman is ready to slot in and continue their form. So I think for now he has to be patient. When he gets his minutes, can he go and score and put the pressure on Kelman?
From an outsider's perspective, it looks like it's a dream playing in this attacking line, especially when you've got the likes of Theo, Ruel Sotirio and Paul Smith in there. Paul Smith in particular, he got nominated for the League 2 Player of the Month, didn't quite win it, but just how exciting is he as a player? We're going to see some clips from him. I'm guessing playing in a team with him must just be a joy to watch.
Yeah, I think for the level, he's an outstanding player. Just speaking to some of the boys, they just say that he's electric. His turn of pace, he's so sharp. He's got that low centre of gravity, and he can pop up with unbelievable goals from time to time, as well as tap-ins that we saw there. But no, he's a special player, and he's definitely a key man for the O's.
And he does. We're seeing here he does play out in the wide positions, but that movement, Jabbo, of coming in and scoring goals. He's been scoring tap-ins this season, and just how important is that?
Yeah, I mean, he keeps opposing defenders honest and, at bay. And in all fairness to him, he causes havoc, and and his play creates spaces for the strikers as well, because the fullbacks can't sort of cover the centre halves, which allows the strikers in the middle to get spaces. But I mean, some of his goals, his industriousness, his the way he drives with the ball is always positive, no hesitation, and he's actually a really good finisher as well.
We probably expect Rochdale to be a hard battle this evening, and when you've got a player like him in your team, Joey, that, as we see there, he can pull something out of nothing.
Yeah.
How much confidence does that give to the side, knowing that you've got a player that can really turn the game on its head?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, he'll definitely be a player that the rest of the team will look to make something happen. If it's a KG 0-0, you want him on the pitch because he's someone you can give the ball to, and he can go and produce a bit of magic. I remember when I was here in my first season, it was Josh Karoma, who we looked to, and he'd often pop up with like a goal, or Macaulay Bonne. You know what I mean? That sort of player that you might not be playing well, your backs might be against the wall, but all it needs is a split second, and these guys can go down the other end and make a difference. And Paul Smith is definitely that guy for Orient this season.
And Ruel Tiriou is another one that we mentioned in that same breath as someone who can just grab a game by the scruff of the neck and pull something out of nothing. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. I think Theo on the bench, might that make him look over his shoulder and think he's got to step up tonight, and he's got to show Richie why he deserves to stay in this side?
I mean, but this what makes it so exciting. They've got all these players at Orient's disposal, and it just when the game's caged, when it is tight, you've got Smith, you've got Sotiria that can just unlock something, can create something out of nothing, and then you've got Archibald sitting on the bench chumping as well. So I mean, it's dilemmas that a manager wants, but again, pressure, if you take it the right way, will improve you. And knowing that Archibald's back and raring to go, Sotiria is going to say, right, I need to have a good one today, and hopefully he will.
And looking at the bench as well, Craig Clay's another one who's being kept on the bench. I mean, he's a club legend, I think it's fair to say. But the way our midfield three are performing at the moment, they're keeping a player of that calibre stuck on the bench. But he'll be another one that will be looking to try and displace one of them three.
Yeah, of course. Like the team's basically picking itself at the moment, isn't it? When you're getting results, there's no need to disrupt things. But I'm a massive fan of Craig. I played with him for a long time, and he's another player that he can bring a lot to the team as well in terms of his energy, his industry. He's a bit of an all-action player, but like you said, he's just finding it hard to get his foot in the door at the moment, where the boys in the middle are just playing consistently well. So it's just a case of biding your time. It's a long season. Craig will get his opportunities. And I'm sure Richie will be thinking about rotating people in and out, as he sees fit. But for now, the boys are in a good run of form, and I don't think there's too much need to tinker with anything right now.
As you say, it does pick itself, and the players on the bench maybe will be looking at the spots and hoping to take. You've got Jordan Brown on there as well. That while we're looking at those midfield spots, he's regularly coming on with 20-30 minutes to go, and he's impressing as well. But what have you made of his cameos recently, and what do you think he needs to do to maybe try and get a starting place?
I mean, he's been coming on and doing really well, to be fair, breaking things up, driving with the ball, and coming on at the right time when something was just lacking, and just to boost it again. And again, it's just one of those ones. You've got three players consistently playing well. They've got a bond together now. And like I said, it is a long season. Players will get tired. The weather changes, the pitch changes a bit and everything like that. And, he just has to, again, be patient. And, and keep everyone... Sometimes you might not play, but they've got an important role in sometimes putting the pressure on players, knowing that I'm ready to take your position. So it helps the starting level to play well. And also their energy around the place helps lift the spirit and the team spirit. And as much as some of these players ain't playing, but I'm sure the team spirit adding to that and pumping the energy around the place, and you know what I mean, I think eventually they'll get their moments and they'll take it.
Before we move on, obviously the enforced postponement on Saturday, but how do you think that weekend off might have affected the O's? Is it a free weekend, but hopefully they can just pick up where they left off the Saturday before?
Yeah, I don't know, you'd like to think it's a good thing, just an opportunity for the boys to have a little bit of a breather, like a few days extra rest perhaps. Could go, one of two ways, I suppose. But I think it'll probably have been a positive for those, just to have a little bit of a break, maybe a bit extra time on the training pitch, time for Richie and his staff to go over one or two things maybe. We'll see tonight though. Hopefully Both teams should be fresher though, so we should be looking at quite an energetic game. I think both teams will fly out the blocks and should be an enjoyable watch.
Well, hopefully it is an enjoyable watch, and we have just got under 15 minutes until kickoff. So if you're watching along live on our YouTube stream, make sure you head on over to the Orient website to pick up your match pass. This one's available for all fans to watch, so go and pick up your match pass to watch along with that one now. But first, it is time to take a look at a couple of our guest goals. We've been talking about some of the goals we've been scoring, but we're going to run a little competition tonight. We're going to look back at the first goals that both of these two players scored. We've had a couple questions about your first Orient goal, so we thought we'd elaborate on this one. I don't know who we should start with here, really. Joe, it's the one and only, I think. So we'll start with that one for you. If we take a look at this one here, Joe, talk us through it first of all.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not sure what I'm doing, like wandering up there. I think I've just taken a little wander upfield, and I just remember it falling to my right foot, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm just gonna whack this. And I feel like at the time we were losing this game. I think we were losing 1-0 to Walsall, and that might have been the equaliser, if I'm correct. And then, so that kind of got us back in the game, and I feel like after that goal, it just kind of like lifted everyone, and we went on and won the game. I think 3-1 in the end.
It's business as usual.
So yeah, it was a great moment, because just everyone just rushed me and sort of jumped all over me, and I never scored any goals. So yeah, it's just a nice feeling to get one, and it was a good one because it kind of turned the game in our favour, and we went on and got the win, which was important. So
I mean, it certainly wasn't a tap-in. It was, weak foot from the edge of the box. Jabbo, have you ever scored? Sorry. Jabbo, have you ever scored one as good as that?
Yeah, I have to be there. Just throw VT, no? Oh man, brilliant.
We're seeing your first 2 goals for the club here. Not sure about the celebration.
I'm not sure about the picture quality. It might look as good because there's no HD in this era,
We had to rip this one off of VHS. But these were your first 2 goals, I think, on your first start for the club, Jabbo. I think these meant a lot to you and the club as well.
Yeah, it was my first starting debut, so look at that touch. The touch was just death. But no, it was you making your first start as a young kid, and you just feel all these emotions, all this energy before the game, and then to get off the mark early doors, it just settled me really well. I had to just kind of create a little bit of space and adjust my body and just get something on it. And I was known to score goals in and around the 6-yard box. And I just didn't even know how to celebrate really. I was like, what am I doing? But yeah, just tried to throw my body there, and unfortunately it went in. So I grew in confidence in the game, and then this ball from Matty Joseph into the box, pulled off the back, nice little deft touch there, and then buried it in the bottom corner and saluted the crowd like I've done this all my life. So no, it was a great moment, and one that I always cherish.
And one that sealed playoff spots for the O's as well?
That was to seal the playoff position for the Orient, and then we went to the playoff final. Yeah, so
wow.
Unfortunately didn't win it, but yeah, we got there though, and it was a good experience to play in it. Yeah.
Well, some great goals to choose from there, and do head over to @LOFC Live, where we'll be running a poll shortly on that one. Make sure you follow us for all the latest news as well, and we'll be getting a poll out to vote on whether you prefer Joey's or Jabbo's goal. I don't know what you're laughing at, Jabbo. They're all good goals. All goals are good goals. But now let's take a look at our opposition for this evening's game as the O's face Rochdale. And in goal for Rochdale this evening, number 1, Richard O'Donnell, and wearing the armband for them as well. Number 3, A.D. White. Number 4, Jim McNulty. Number 8, James Ball. Number 10, Devontae Rodney. Number 11, Abraham Odo. Number 13, Jimmy Keohan. Number 15, Sam Graham. 18, Scott Quigley. Number 20, Tumani Diagura. And number 40, Ian Henderson. And on the bench for Rochdale, number 22, Kieran Slicker. 2, Femi Sariki. 14, Ethan Bierley. Number 16, Ben Nelson. 17, Tyrese Sinclair. 19, Tavon Campbell. And number 27, Connor Malley. So they are the boys that will be looking to put an end to the O's unbeaten start to the season. Hopefully they're not going to pose too much of a threat for the O's. But if we take a look at Rochdale, they've not had a great start to the season. They're yet to win a game. We're unbeaten. As Orient fans, a lot of the time that leaves us nervous that these are the ones that we go and lose. But as it is in League Two, all games are tough competitions.
Yeah, I mean, every game in the league is a tough one. You can never take your eye off the prize. I mean, it doesn't on stats alone. You would expect us to win. They haven't won a game all season. They've got 2 draws in the recent games, and obviously the new manager's coming in and he's implementing something. And obviously having that break, he's had more time on the training ground to get his points across. So they're going to be dangerous. The new Loney scored 2 goals in his debut as well. So you know, a team with a little resurgence, but hopefully not today. And if Orient, as long as Orient turn up with the right mindset, I expect us to get the job done.
We'll come on to Scott Quigley in a second. He is the danger man. But first, let's look at the last game where he did contribute. 2 goals for him. It was a 3-3. Maybe on paper you'll go, that's a good result for the new manager. But they were 3-1 up against Carlisle. That doesn't scream of a side that's full of confidence or stability at the moment.
No, yeah, there'll be, you know, Jim Bentley will be disappointed that they've kind of thrown a result away. You know, I think he'll be happy with the fact that they've scored 3 goals, but you know, obviously they've got vulnerabilities at the back. You know, they've shipped a lot of goals this season. Looking at their lineup there, I think you know, they've gone with quite an experienced team. You know, there's a lot of players in there with a lot of league games under their belt. So you know, I think, yeah, Jim Bentley's obviously picked a team with a bit of know-how in it. They're up against a good team in Orient tonight. They're on a good run of form. So you know, for the O's, it's just a case of, you know, sort of doing as they have been. Nothing much needs to change. And to be honest, I'm confident that they'll have too much for Rochdale tonight, I think.
And we've seen Quigley here, Jabbo. Some good finishes in there. I bet you wish you could have scored something like that.
I think he's watched my videos. No, I mean, he looks like he knows where to be in a dangerous position inside the box. He looks like he carries a good genuine threat. I think he scored 10 goals last season for Stockport, and you know, he's a goal threat, and he's coming to a side straight away scoring goals. So I think we have to give him some respect, but at the same time, if we do our job and turn up like we have been, I think we dispatch them.
But does that give an indication maybe of the kind of game the O's might be facing today, up against a big target man who'll be looking to pick up their first win? It'll be a battle against him. Yeah,
100%. He's a good size. He seems like he knows like this league quite well and lower league football, and he's good stature and looks like a player that is going to be a nuisance. But at the same time, he knows where the back of the net is. So we have to be watchful. We have to sort of like keep it tight and communicate well, just to nullify his threat. And then I think if we can nullify him and keep him quiet, then I think we'll be well inside the game.
And you look at our centre-backs in Dan Happy and Omar Beckles, they're 2 big boys. They've had a good start to the season. They'll be fairly confident going into this battle with Quigley, I expect.
Yeah, they will. You know, both Haps and Omar Beckles, you know, they're tall, they're strong, they're athletic. Both of them can run. You know, they're not just sort of like old school meatheads that just want to come and head the ball. They can play as well. Both of them comfortable on the ball. But they can be physical when they need to, and they probably will need to be tonight. You know, Quigley's a physical threat. I'm sure he will be a target for Rochdale crosses, you know, balls into the box. So they'll have to be alive to that threat. But I'm confident that between the 2 of them, they'll be able to handle him and keep him quiet tonight.
And if we talk about the manager very quickly, Jabbo, it's 2 different stories really, with Richie just winning manager of the month and then the new manager coming into a struggling side. If you look at Jim Bentley, he kept Morecambe in League 2 on a shoestring for a few seasons. This is going to be a battle in Rochdale side, just like a Jim Bentley side is.
Yeah, I think Jim Bentley knows the league very well. He knows how to set up a team, and I think what he does is he knows about the culture of the club and the area and what the fans want, and he uses the fans to generate an atmosphere with the players. And he gets like whenever I've played against Morecambe, they had a fantastic team spirit, and you know, and I think that's what he's going to try and implement them. That everyone should run for each other, everyone should be just in it together, and I think that's like a Jim Bentley side. And I think given time, he'll steady the ship for sure, because he knows how to get that out of players. We just have to just start on the front foot so they just don't get into that rhythm. But he's a good manager, definitely knows how to sort of like get a team going in the right direction.
Well, hopefully it is another 3 points for the O's this evening, and it is very nearly time for kick-off, so we're going to pass over to our match commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscott.
With you now, Matt.
Good evening and welcome to Spotland. Well, of course, for over 7 decades, those living in these United Nations, Queen Elizabeth II was a constant figure and an exemplary monarch, someone that practiced self-discipline, duty and dedication. And tonight it is an opportunity for people to come together before kick-off. There will be a minute's silence and that will be followed by the national anthem. And of course we have to say congratulations to Richie Wellens, the